Like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. You never know what you're going to get on my channel. So the Patreons reached out to me, and as you know, they pay for the YouTube channel. And so when they asked me to do something, I pretty much drop everything and do it right away. And the thing that came up was they wanted to know who are some of these 14 women that don't like Crystal Minkoff and cut off their friendship to her. And they wanted to know what was the story, what pissed these women off. So I tried to find out for you guys. And here is the result in this video. So make sure you thank the Patreons if you see one, or sign up. Links in the description. You could buy a shirt too. So let's begin. First of all, I've pretty much been able to establish that the 14 women are either married to very famous Hollywood men or themselves are producers and Hollywood women. I'm gonna show you some pictures now just to give you visuals, okay? Julia Sorkin. Allegedly, although Kathy Hilton says she wasn't that close with Crystal, and Crystal has admitted that was not that close to Kathy Hilton when she came on the show, I guess Kathy was a part of this larger group of friends that sort of cut Crystal Minkoff off, but Kathy didn't. She stayed friendly with Crystal anyway. So I just wanted to point that out. Now, Teddi Mellencamp went on her podcast and said, listen, these ladies are way too fancy for me to be part of this group. So I wasn't part of those 14 friends. And I believe her. I believe she wasn't part of her 14 friends. And now I'm wondering if the rumor maybe didn't come from Teddi Mellencamp, but instead came from Kathy Hilton to Kyle and then to the rest of the group. So maybe the gossip came through Kathy because Kathy is in this group of friends versus Teddi. Because initially I thought it was Teddi being jealous of Crystal because Teddi referred Crystal for the casting, and the same, season that Teddi refers Crystal to come on the show for casting, Teddi's fired for Crystal. So, obviously there'd be a motive there to be pissed at Crystal. So I thought maybe it was Teddi, but it seems like the rumors about Crystal and the 14 friends came from Kathy. And then I say that because Kathy was in the friend group and Teddi wasn't. And Teddi didn't talk about it on her podcast. She didn't seem to know what it was about. So that leads me to believe again that it was Kathy Hilton. So now I'm going to tell you the story that I believe it was about. So Kathy Hilton, I think, gossiped to Kyle and Sutton and was the one who talked about the 14 friends turning on Crystal and how she's, she looks for the person who's most in power. And let me quickly read you what the public version of the story is in case you're not up to date on your Beverly Hills Housewives season 12. I don't want to leave anyone behind in this video, okay? So let me spend 2 seconds and do that, and then I'm going to tell you the real story. So what was said on the show was Sutton shared that she heard from some of Crystal's former friends that she had the reputation of causing trouble and trying to attach herself to the group's most influential, powerful person. Turns out that Sutton wasn't the only one who had heard these rumbles about Crystal. On the recently aired episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, both Kyle Richards and Lisa Rinna confirmed they too had heard these rumors. In fact, Lisa even revealed some details when she said that Crystal was dropped by 14 of her friends. The housewife seemed genuinely puzzled over what Crystal may have done or said that caused 14 of her friends to distance themselves from her. So now you know why I thought it was Teddi, right? Because of Lisa's involvement. But it seems it's Kathy. Okay, so let's, I'll tell you the story now. Okay, so it started, so first of all, the 14 friends are no longer hanging out that much anymore. Okay, so there was a tighter group and it kind of dissolved a little bit. So it's not just Crystal, the whole group doesn't really hang out. Now, the other thing that came out was that Crystal had badmouthed behind Teddi Mellencamp's back to these women that she was going on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because she looked down on the show and she was like, I can't believe that someone would go on this show. Like, it's so low, right? Sounds like Kathy Hilton vibes. Anyway, she was like not supporting Teddy and going on the show. And then, so Crystal did that. But then on top of it, Crystal had there was another friend in the group, a Polish girl, that was trying out for the show. And she, I guess, was getting it or was considering doing it. And Crystal dragged this other friend pretty hard who wanted to do the show. Like, I would never do that show. Oh my God, it's horrific. Who would do it? Anyway, and then she went on the show and everyone was like, wow, you're a hypocrite. You put down Teddy Mellencamp for going on the show. You kind of, I guess, swayed this other member of the friend group from doing the show because you said it was dumb and terrible experience or whatever. And then you end up going on the show, which makes everyone believe that you secretly were coveting it for yourself. And so you were trying to persuade people not to go on the show because you were secretly jealous and wanted to be on the show yourself. And then as soon as the opportunity presented itself, you jumped on it. So how manipulative is that? So then some of the girlfriends believed that Crystal was making herself into a victim on the show by sending herself DMs. And there was like a split within the friend groups. Some of the friends was like, Crystal would never do that. And some of the friends were like, she is such a manipulator, I wouldn't put it past her. And some of the friends felt like she was making everything like about her and she was always like over dramatizing things and, you know, being kind of fake and like a social climber, basically. So that is the Crystal Minkoff, which is funny because she's made such an effort to not come off that way that it's really interesting, right? So anyway, what do you guys think? What do you think? What do you think of this gossip? I love it. This is so fun. I totally believe the part about Crystal saying to her friends, like, you don't want to do this. And secretly she's like dying to do it. Because I've seen that happen a few times in Beverly Hills with the show. Okay, so then Teddy, who I do trust her gossip on this particular thing because she knows Crystal, she said that she believed that Crystal and Sutton had put this all behind them before the season started shooting. And then what happened was some of the women got wind of, this discussion that happened between, or this issue between Sutton and Crystal, and, egged both of the women to bring it out on the show. And then it ended up blowing into this huge thing. And Crystal made, a rookie mistake by kind of like, I guess, following a stronger personality's lead, which I would imagine was Lisa Rinna or Erica. Okay. And so they got in her ear and was like, you should really call Sutton out for this. You should really call Sutton out for this. And then Crystal did it. And then she realized, oh my God, this is going to be, I have to do this all over again for this season. She probably felt like a total SHIT because she was friendly with Sutton and they had put this really truly to bed. But then now she had to bring it all back out again and be like a real bitch to Sutton. And so I think she felt genuinely bad about it, really bad. So it's a mind F to be on this show. You have no idea. When you're going through it, it's like, you don't sleep, you don't eat. It's crazy. I'm sure like Lisa Rinna doesn't care because she's so seasoned at this point. But there'll be a moment that Lisa won't sleep. Something said that she's like, oh my God, when that comes out, my life's going to be nuked for a month. Okay. So what was the other thing? Was there any other gossip to do with this? Another angle I see here is that Lisa Rinna and Kyle collaborated on this one. And Kyle was like, I'm going to take Sutton's corner. And Lisa's like, I'm going to take Crystal's. And we're going to have these women be the storyline of the season. And we're going to get these green guys because they're new. So like, Lisa's like, oh, you know what you should do? And Kyle's like, oh, you know what you should do in retaliation? Or you know what I heard? And they probably got some gossip from Kathy out of it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I'm sure Teddy's thrown into the mix somehow in there, even though she's like, I'm not a part of this girl group and stuff. It's just, I could see that a little bit because Kyle and her are so close. Yeah. I'd say Kyle in real life doesn't like Crystal. That's why she targeted her. And Lisa does like Crystal. So she was like, but Lisa doesn't like Sutton. Yeah. This happens. This really happens behind the scenes. It happened to me with Lisa Vanderpump and Kyle. Kyle wanted me to go take Lisa out of the show. And Taylor was kind of on board with it for all her nice stuff she says about Lisa Vanderpump. Taylor was like, yeah, you should go for Lisa. And Kyle was like, yeah, Lisa's so fake and unauthentic, and she works the producers and makes herself the star. Yeah, that happens. Woo! Juicy. All right. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. See you soon.